Good afternoon. This is Ben, also known as Gadget. I just wanted to get on here to answer some frequently asked questions in regards to my upcoming thru hike of the Pacific Crest Trail. As some of you may know, last week I made a post on my social media asking all of you for any questions, inquiries, or concerns that you may have in regards to my upcoming thru hike. And so I wanted to take a moment just to be able to answer some of those questions here today. The first question that came up was, how long will it take me to hike the Pacific Crest Trail? Well, the Pacific Crest Trail goes from the border of Canada all the way to the border of Mexico. I will be hiking northbound, so that means I'll be going from Mexico to Canada. It is 2,650 miles approximately, and I predict it is going to take me 5 to 6 months to hike that far. I will be going through the desert in Southern California, through the Mojave Desert, as well as the Sierra Nevada mountains, and then I will enter into Northern California, Oregon, and then Washington. And so it's going to be a long hike, but it is also going to be beautiful. The second question that I'd received was asking, how does the PCT compare to the AT, the Appalachian Trail? As many of you may know, back in 2023, I thru hiked the Appalachian Trail. It was my first thru hike of that significant length. And so it's a hard question to answer, especially since I have not hiked the Pacific Crest Trail yet. But I can tell you they are totally different. The Appalachian Trail is steeper in grade. However, the Pacific Crest Trail is higher in elevation. Plus, it feels at this point that the AT was more rainy. There was more water, more rain, a lot, as many of you may know. But I predict the opposite to be true with the Pacific Crest Trail. Yes, I may get some rain, but I don't believe it's going to be as much. Actually, I know it will not be as much. But the logistics are a little more technical when it comes to the West Coast versus the East Coast. What I mean by that, I will be dealing, as I stated a moment ago, with desert and long water carries at the beginning, and then near the middle I will hit the Sierra Mountains pretty early in the season, so I predict that there is going to be a lot of snow. So those are some ways that each trail is different. Yes, the PCT is a little longer than the AT. However, I believe because of the grade, I'll be able to hike more miles on the PCT than I did originally on my first thru hike of the AT. The third question is, how much does it cost to hike the Pacific Crest Trail? Well, they say on average, a person should plan approximately $1,000 a month. Now, this price was probably a few years ago, and with the cost of inflation, I would play it safe and plan just a little more than that. And so I've been saving for quite a while, and I'm ready to spend probably around $1,500 or so a month to be able to make it from 5 to 6 months, around that, in total of months on trail. And so that's the cost. fourth question that I received is, what is the most difficult part of the Pacific Crest Trail? Now, I haven't been on trail yet, so this may change. And I know that the trail itself is going to be highly demanding, especially for hiking so many miles every day in order to complete the trail in a timely manner. However, what I learned from my Appalachian Trail through hike, it's not as much physically demanding as it becomes later on in my journey mentally demanding. As they say, it is head over heels. A lot of times when you're hiking so many miles out in the wilderness for so much time, it begins to work on you. It begins to take hold of you mentally. And so looking forward in my through hike, I predict that probably the most difficult part is not the desert and it's not the Sierra Mountains, but it's in my head. It's the mental demand that such a through hike requires. The fifth question I received was, am I afraid of any wild animals? And the question is, no. Statistically, the chances of being harmed by an animal is very low, even in the wilderness, such as the Pacific Crest Trail. But I've learned to be content with wildlife. I know how to act and to respond to anything such as bears, mountain lions, and rattlesnakes. Those are probably, I would say, the most dangerous. But like I said, I'm not afraid. Statistically, again, the chances are very low of being hurt. I'll just watch my step with the rattlesnakes, and when it comes to mountain lions and bears, I will just keep my distance. And I know for the most part, animals don't want to have anything to do with humans, and so I don't really have to worry about there. The only time there's ever an incident normally would be if, one, they feel cornered or threatened by you, or they want something you have, such as food. So my plan is to keep my food away from the animals, and hopefully that will keep the animals away from me. I don't mind seeing them from a distance, but that's about it. So there's the answer to that question. The next question I received is, what keeps me going on trail when the day becomes difficult? And I would say for me personally, I have learned to just dig deep inside me and just to push myself. I try to remain optimistic even when I'm having a difficult time, may it be physically or mentally or whatever. Maybe I miss my family or I've hurt myself or I don't feel good. You know, it all takes place during a long through hike. And you know, for me, like I said, for me personally, it's I try to stay optimistic. I stay positive. I look at look forward, look to the future, knowing that what is happening in the moment is only temporary, and tomorrow can bring a brighter day. And so I live by the motto that they say, never give up on a bad day. And so again, what that means is I'm not going to give up today just because it's hard, but I know that tomorrow may bring greater joy. That next sunset, or that next sunrise, or that magnificent view from the mountaintop, whatever it is, I know that whatever is before me is going to bring me happiness. And so I use that as a type of flame within me, that flame of resilience, and to allow it to push myself forward even when I have a bad day. The next question I received is, will I be hiking alone? So like my Appalachian Trail through hike, I will be starting solo. I plan on probably meeting people as I continue to move forward on the trail. That's what happened my last through hike. But I do plan on hiking alone quite a bit. Even when I was hiking with the family on the AT, throughout the day, most of the time I would hike by myself, and we would just meet up at the end of the day at camp, or we would meet for lunch or whatever. So I don't mind hiking by myself. I actually enjoy hiking by myself. It gives me plenty of time to be able to think and to enjoy the scenery and just be away from all the distractions of civilization. So I will look forward to that aspect. And so if you're worried about me for hiking by myself, don't be. It's something I quite enjoy. The eighth question, it is one that I get quite a bit. I even got it before I hiked the Appalachian Trail, and it is, will you be carrying a weapon of any type? No, I will not, other than I will have probably 2-3 inch pocket knife, just something real small in my pocket, not necessarily for protection, but just for cutting things. But I guess if it came down to it, I could use that as a means of protection. But no, I will not be carrying a firearm or anything like that. Not even bear spray. Bear spray is illegal, I believe, in most of where I'll be hiking, and so they're in California specifically. But I do not plan on carrying anything. Don't want the extra weight, and statistically, as stated about the animals, about people as well, statistically, my chances are pretty good. The next question I received is, what am I most excited/nervous about? That's a big question. There are a lot of things I could say that I'm excited about. I'm excited for the views. I'm excited to be able to see some beautiful landscape, to be one with nature as I'm hiking through the wilderness. Several years ago, back in 22, I hiked in the Sierra Mountains. I'm looking forward to being back in the mountains, back in the Sierra Mountains. It is beautiful, it's magnificent. What I am probably most excited about is to be able to discover new things about myself. And what I discovered on the Appalachian Trail, solitude oftentimes brings enlightenment. And so what I mean by that, I begin to analyze myself and analyze the world I live in, and grow closer to my Creator as I'm hiking along the trail and just being one with Him. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to having that quiet time, that quality time. What I am most nervous about is probably injury. I don't want to hurt myself. What I mean by that, I don't want to pull a muscle, or I don't want to fall and take myself out. And so what I'm going to do at the beginning, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do shorter miles, as like I did on the Appalachian Trail. They used to say the last one to Katahdin wins. I guess you can say the same thing is true on the West Coast. The last one to Canada wins. And so I'm going to be taking my time, allow my trail legs to be able to build up gradually and hopefully make it all the way through without any injury. And so those are some of the things that I'm excited about. Those are some of the things that I'm a little nervous about, but with all of that aside, I'm just excited. I'm just looking forward to being on trail once again. Last but not least, number 10, what's your goal beyond finishing? And so as some of you may know, I am working towards what is known as the Hiker's Triple Crown. I thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail in 2023. I'm about to hike the Pacific Crest Trail here in 2026, and I hope to hike what is known as the Continental Divide Trail in 2028. And if all goes well, I plan on writing a book about my journey on each trail. And so I've recently published my first book for the Appalachian Trail. It's called Over the Mountains, A Journey of Self-Discovery on the Appalachian Trail. It's for sale on Amazon. But I want to write more. I want to share my experience. I want to share some of the insights that I've obtained from hiking so many miles on trail. I also am considering doing a canoe trip down the Mississippi. So I would like to paddle the entire Mississippi, beginning at the headwaters all the way down to the Gulf. And so I hope to do all of that by age 50. I'm 45 at the moment. And so in 2030, I plan on doing the river if all goes well. And that is kind of my goal, and that is what I'm working towards. And it's not just growing myself, but also to be able to give and to share with others and to help others see the benefits of nature, the benefits of the outdoors, and how we as human beings were created by our Heavenly Father to be one with nature. And so not only is that beneficial to our physical health, but I believe it is also detrimental to our mental health. And so that is my goal. That is what I am working toward at the moment. And I hope to bring some of you along as you follow me along the trail, as you follow me on each of my journeys. And so thank you for watching this video. Like and share if you would. If you liked it, if you want to continue and to learn more about who I am or about what I am doing, you can follow me on YouTube, or you can follow me on backcountrytramper.org. That's my website. I have a blog there, and I will be also blogging for the trek as I hike the Pacific Crest Trail. So with all that said, I will talk to you soon from the trail.